Hi, welcome to this look at the weather prospects for the rest of April. I'll start by taking a look at the coming week. The animation runs from 18 GMT, Friday the 8th. And at the outset, it's quite a cold picture. There's a northerly airstream covering the UK. It's showery as well, and in the north there's some sleet or snow. In the short term, I think the showers will become more scattered as high pressure builds. It turns drier through the weekend. Then, as we go into the early part of next week, there is some uncertainty because milder air tries to return from the southwest. It leads to a risk of rain pushing northeastwards across the UK, but the rate of progression is open to question. Computer models have been showing slightly different scenarios, some taking it northeastwards more quickly, others keeping it further to the southwest. On this one, based on GFS data, the rain moves up across all parts of the UK, turns to snow for a time in the north, but then it turns drier again through the second half of the week as high pressure areas to the southwest and the northeast become dominant. So here we are, 18 GMT on Good Friday. There is some showery rain there over Northern Ireland, but for much of the UK, it's a dry start to the Easter period. Taking a look at the 2-metre temperatures associated with that computer model run, beginning with 06 GMT, Sunday the 10th of April, widely down to or below freezing point, so a frost in most of the UK, chilly nights, cold nights in the short term. Daytime temperatures aren't too special either, 15 GMT, Monday the 11th, 10s, 11s, 12s in the south, colder as you head northwards. GFS does tend to undershoot temperatures a little bit, but still it's quite a disappointing picture for the time of the year. But it then turns quite a lot warmer. The highest temperatures associated with that sequence are on Wednesday the 13th of April, 20 Celsius there in the southeast, so with its tendency to be a little bit conservative, we could see 21 or even 22 were this to be correct. Values still somewhat lower as you head northwards. Then the nights become less cold as well, so the 06 GMT minimums on Thursday the 14th. Still not warm, so down to 2, 3 or 4 Celsius much for the country. Possibility of patchy ground frost remains, but it will be, I think, a lot less widespread than earlier on. And in southern counties there, 8s or 9s, so quite mild if this is right. Then, though, there are indications of temperatures beginning to dip a little bit for the Easter period. Good Friday maximums here, 12, 13s, 14s in the south, so down from about 20, 21, 22. Still relatively mild there in the north, especially in northern Scotland, 13, 14, 15. But just the hint there that as we go into Easter itself, there will be a cooling trend emerging. The MOGREPS temperature plot for London shows the rather chilly conditions in the short term there. Maximums around 8, 9 or 10 Celsius, most of the runs are shown. But then there is the upwards trend, which the GFS animation went for, reaching a peak around the 12th of April, perhaps 15s, 16s Celsius, according to this. Although even then, there is quite a wide spread. Some of the individual runs are going for significantly lower maximums. Towards the Easter weekend itself, quite a big spread. All in all, though, values are higher then than they are in the first few days. Up to Glasgow, and once again, it's chilly to begin with. Then there is something of a warming trend, but there really is a big spread showing there from around the 11th to 12th of April. Maximums between 15, 16 Celsius and only 4 Celsius, so different runs within the ensemble going for very different outcomes, and that big spread there continues through to the end of the plot, which is on the 16th. So with that uncertainty towards the end there as we head towards the Easter period, what is it looking like according to the ensemble data? So using the GEFS postage stamps here showing pressure forecasts on Easter Sunday from all of the individual runs in the model. It's probably best if you pause the video at this point so you can see the individual stamps. If you do, you'll probably notice that many of them have yellow or orange shading close to or over the UK. That is suggesting high pressure. They don't all have it though, and the position of the high pressure varies quite a lot. Some have it slap bang over the centre of the country, others to the north, others further south, and that would lead to a big difference potentially in temperatures. Also, the likelihood of rain in different parts of the UK. So, as I say, temperatures could vary quite a lot according to where the high pressure's centred, and that's reflected on this postage stamp chart, which is showing maximum temperatures on Easter Sunday from all the individual runs. Some are going for 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s, or 20s. Others are going for maximums of only around 8 or 9 Celsius in southern Britain. So a big temperature spread still on offer at this stage. Finally, from the ensemble data for the Easter period, the rainfall postage stamps, quite a lot are indicating dry conditions, which ties in nicely with the idea of high pressure having a lot of influence. But again, it's absolutely not a given. There are enough runs in the mix there which are showing rain. So, taking all those together, thinking about the Easter period as a whole, at this stage, I would say there's probably the likelihood of drier than average conditions, but there will be some rain around at times. Not really possible to pinpoint when or where, which of course makes it very difficult to plan things if you're going for outdoor activities, Easter egg hunts, or sitting out at a pub for lunch, whatever. And in terms of temperature, also there's a lot of uncertainty at this stage with relatively warm and relatively cold scenarios really still very possible. Easter really takes us through to the middle part of April. What about the rest of the month? And as ever at this range, it's just really trying to determine the direction of travel. Will it be warmer or colder than average, drier or wetter? Nothing more than that, I would say. Starting with the pressure anomaly chart for the week beginning Thursday, the 14th of April. So this takes the 7 days from the 14th, all the pressure forecasts from the ensemble mean, and aggregates them and then averages them out to find out whether there's an anomaly or not. And yellow shading is indicating a positive anomaly over the UK, especially in central and southern counties. Higher than average pressure being forecast through this period. Going forwards to week beginning the 21st, things have now changed. There's a weak negative anomaly or no anomaly there in the southwest, but then as you head northwards, the blues are indicating more of a negative anomaly developing. So the signal here is for lower pressure to become more dominant towards the end of the month, at least through the last third of it. Taking a look at the air mass temperatures, going back to the week beginning Thursday the 14th, again, this is showing anomalies. Red indicates a positive anomaly, so above the 30-year average, covering the whole of the UK through this week. Air temperatures at about 1,500 metres above sea level, above that long-term average. Going forwards to week beginning the 21st, those reds have now gone. There isn't really much of an anomaly at all in southern and central areas, but as you go northwards, the blues once more appear below average. So it doesn't always reflect in terms of temperatures down at the ground level, which I'll look at in a moment, but if this is correct, there will be a trend towards cooler or colder air masses returning through the last third of April after that warm-up from around the middle of the month. So as I say, it doesn't always map down to temperatures at the 2 metre level, the ones which we actually experience. Does it do that on this occasion? Here's a London plot. The period in question is here, And you can see most of the runs, including the two red lines, which are the ensemble mean maximum and minimum forecasts, are above that thick black line, which is close to the 30-year norm for London. Later on, though, there's a clear dip showing. So after a relatively warm or mild start, temperatures then dipping back towards the norm later on through April. Going up to Glasgow to see the picture from the northwest, above average to begin with, similar to London, but there is more of a downwards trend there showing, and later on most of those runs are going into the below average category, or at least close to it. I would say close to or a little below it rather than very much below it. A clear trend towards cooler conditions showing there in the northwest later on. So all in all, quite a mixed pattern. Signs of it being relatively warm or mild compared to the average through the middle of April, then dipping away later on. So to summarise the rest of April, the first week, so the period from April the 8th to the 14th, starts cold with wintry showers and night frosts. There are then indications that it will turn more changeable later on as milder air tries to return from the southwest. That could bring rain to all parts of the UK and possibly a risk of snow for a time in the north. Then the rest of the month, so going through the second half, drier than average early on, probably, but towards the end, through the last third in particular, it begins to turn more changeable or unsettled, and the risk of rain increases. After a relatively warm start compared to the average, temperatures dip back down. So there we have it. Quite a mixed month, or what remains of it on balance. The potential, at least, for drier conditions through the Easter period, which I think will be welcomed by many. Temperatures associated with that drier period somewhat uncertain. There are signs of it being warmer than the average, as I've been discussing, although equally some of the individual model runs, some of the ensemble runs through the Easter weekend itself are indicating that it could still be rather chilly at that point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. Thanks for watching now. Bye.